Thanksgiving smelled like turkey, cinnamon, and lies, because right when Mom said, "Your sister got the insurance payout, you don't need it," I didn't shout, I didn't cry, I just asked one simple question, and that question tore our family apart. My name is Maya, and I always thought families broke slowly. Little cracks over time, quiet distance, not one big explosion. Turns out I was wrong. Sometimes a single sentence spoken over mashed potatoes can shatter 30 years of loyalty. In under 5 seconds, Thanksgiving at our house had always been messy, loud, chaotic in the sweetest way. Dad carving the turkey, Mom yelling that the gravy was burning, my sister Rachel pretending she helped cook when all she did was bring store-bought pie, me making everything look perfect while no one really noticed. But this year, it was different. This was the first Thanksgiving after Dad died. And nobody was the same. Dad's chair was empty. Mom's face was tighter. Rachel was glowing in this weird, rehearsed way, like she was in a commercial for happiness. And me, I was just tired. Tired of holding everything together. Tired of pretending grief made us kinder. Dinner started normal enough. Small talk, forced smiles, Aunt Carol complaining about her knees. The TV playing some holiday parade in the background. But Mom kept glancing at Rachel, then at me, then back again, like she was waiting for the right moment to drop a bomb, and she did. Halfway through dinner, Mom cleared her throat dramatically. "Girls," she said, folding her napkin carefully, "we need to talk about something." My stomach tightened. Rachel sat straighter instantly, like she knew exactly where this was going. Mom took a deep breath. "It's about the insurance money from your father's accident." The fork froze halfway to my mouth. Insurance money? Dad worked construction and died on site. I always knew insurance was involved, but Mom never gave details. Everything was later, or not now, or we're still processing paperwork. Mom continued, smiling in this strange, uncomfortable way. "Rachel already got the payout, and Maya, you don't need it." I blinked slowly. Maybe I misheard. I put my fork down. "Sorry, what?" Mom nodded as if she was doing me a favor. "Sweetheart, your life is stable. You have a job, a small apartment. You're responsible. Rachel needs it more. She has her business. She has dreams. She needs support." Rachel gazed down at her plate, pretending to be humble. But her smile gave her away. I wasn't angry, not yet. My brain was still stuck on a different sentence. Rachel already got the payout. I inhaled sharply. And instead of yelling, instead of crying, instead of accusing, I asked the only question that mattered. When did Dad sign the beneficiary change? Silence fell so fast it was almost loud. Mom stiffened. Rachel's face dropped. Aunt Carol stopped mid-chew. I didn't move. I didn't blink. I kept my voice soft, calm to calm. "Because Dad never told me he changed anything." Mom opened her mouth, closed it, tried again. "Well, he told me." Mom, I cut in gently. "Accident insurance doesn't work that way. Someone has to sign documents. Dad would have needed witnesses, dates, authorization, so when was it changed?" Rachel swallowed hard. "Maya, don't start this." "Start what?" I asked quietly, asking when Dad supposedly changed something he never once mentioned to me, to anyone. No one answered, because there was only one truth left on that table. They were lying. And they knew I knew. Rachel finally snapped. "Fine," she shouted. "I needed it, okay? I needed it more than you. Dad wouldn't want you wasting it on your boring little safe life." I stared at her. "Rachel," I asked, "how much did you get?" More silence. Mom whispered. 50,000. My heart dropped. Dad died on a job site with faulty equipment. The payout couldn't be only 50,000, not for wrongful death, not in our state. I felt the blood drain from my face. It wasn't just money. It was betrayal layered on betrayal. I stood slowly. My legs felt like they weighed 100 pounds. "Dad's policy from his union was at least $200,000, I said softly. "Everyone knows that, so where's the rest?" Mom's hands shook. Rachel's jaw clenched. And in that moment, I saw it, the guilt, the panic, the fear crawling up her neck. She knew she couldn't lie anymore. So she went for the next best thing. "Blame. You left," she snapped. "You moved out. You weren't here when Dad got sick that last year." I was. My voice cracked, but not from weakness, from anger. "I left because I was working 2 jobs. Because Dad told me, Maya, build your life, don't get stuck here. Because he didn't want me to put my dreams on hold for him. And I still came every weekend, every single weekend." Rachel looked away. "I wasn't done. You were here. Physically," I whispered, "but only because your rent was free." Her face flushed red. Mom slammed her fist on the table. "Enough, Maya. Your sister helped me. She stole from us." I said quietly. "From him, from his memory." Mom's eyes flashed. "I allowed it," she said coldly, "and that hurt more than anything." She didn't deny it. She didn't apologize. She didn't even try to comfort me. She was proud of it. Proud that she gave one daughter everything and left the other daughter scraps of silence. I took a deep breath and asked the final question. Where's the paperwork? Rachel froze. Mom. Froze. Aunt Carol muttered. Oh no, because now they understood. I wasn't asking as a grieving daughter anymore. I was asking like someone who knew the law. I sat back down slowly. You forged something, I said softly, or pressured Dad while he was sick. Either way, you'd have tampered with a legal document. Rachel stood up, panic finally hitting her face. Maya, please, I'm not done. I pulled out my phone and placed it on the table. If Dad's beneficiary was changed after he got admitted to the hospital for his first stroke, he wasn't legally competent to sign. His doctor told me that. You remember, the doctor said he had severe cognitive fog, Mom whispered. Maya, don't go this route. Why not? I asked evenly. It's the truth. Rachel broke down first. She started crying, hands shaking, mascara smudging. It was Mom, she cried. She told me to do it. She said you didn't need the money. Rachel, Mom snapped, but it was too late. The truth was spilling like broken glass on the table. You told me Dad wanted me to have it. Rachel sobbed. You told me he said it before he died. You said Maya had everything already. Everything, me. I had nothing but bills and a tiny apartment. But Mom didn't see life the way I did. She saw quiet women as stable and selfish women as needing help. I stood up again, voice steady. I'm starting a formal inquiry tomorrow, I said coldly. I'll go to the insurance office, request the claim details, ask for signatures, witness names, dates, and audio calls. If anything looks forged or pressured, Rachel gasped, Maya, please. Please don't, you'll both be investigated. I finished. Insurance fraud is a felony. Mom's face turned white. You wouldn't, she whispered. I stared at her without blinking. You stole my father's last gift to me, I said, quietly. You watched Rachel spend money meant to help us both. You lied to my face. And you thought I'd be too soft to ever question it. Mom leaned back like I slapped her. I grabbed my jacket. As I walked to the door, Rachel grabbed my arm. Maya, please, I'll give you your share. I turned slowly. My share, I repeated coldly. It was never your money to give. It was Dad's, and he didn't choose you. Her grip loosened. Then I said the one sentence that hollowed out her soul. If I were you, I'd check the dates on that policy. Because Dad told me something before he died. Everyone froze again. Mom swallowed. What did he say? I walked to the door. Hand on the handle. And I delivered the truth like a blade. He said, Maya, don't let anyone speak for me when I'm gone. If they try, they're lying. Rachel collapsed into her chair crying. Mom covered her face. I left. The aftermath. 3 weeks later, Terry didn't file the fraud report. Not immediately. I wanted to give them one chance. A week later, Rachel showed up at my apartment with a box of paperwork and shaking hands. Maya, I found the documents. I think Mom forced him to sign. He didn't look okay. I don't want that money anymore. Her voice cracked. I want you. That hit different. For the first time in years, my sister wasn't performing. She was just hurting. We sat down. She cried. I cried. She apologized, not once, but a dozen times. Real apologies. Not excuses. She transferred everything left, more than she admitted, into a joint account where Mom had no access. And then she told me the part that broke me. Maya, the day Dad signed it, he kept looking at the door. I think he was waiting for you. I think he wanted you there, but Mom wouldn't call you. That's the moment anger turned into something harder, something colder. Not hate, not revenge. Truth. Mom had been controlling the narrative long before money entered the picture. She had been choosing favorites since childhood, but this time, she crossed a line even grief couldn't justify. 2 days later, I visited Mom. She looked smaller than ever, ashamed, terrified. I didn't yell, didn't accuse. I simply said, you don't get to choose who Dad loved more. That was never your right. Mom cried silently. And for once, I didn't comfort her. Some lessons hurt, and some people need to sit with that pain. Ending the twist. He didn't file the fraud charges, not because they didn't deserve it, not because I forgave easily, but because Dad's last words reminded me who I wanted to be, someone he'd be proud of, someone who doesn't let anger become their identity. But I did something better, something quiet, something sharp, something final. I became the executor of Dad's legacy, legally. Rachel agreed. Mom signed. The insurance company corrected their records. And now, every Thanksgiving, Dad's share is still empty.